Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this special Sunday guided practice in aid of Ukraine. My name is Rachel Lovegrove, and hello to everyone who normally joins me every Sunday, and welcome to the new people. We meet every Sunday since the beginning of lockdown, we have done anyway, for a guided practice on Sunday mornings. So this practice will be suitable for all levels because some of you are joining for the first time. So just do what you can and let me know any questions. There is a live comment box that you can use if you need to ask me anything. I can't guarantee I'll notice it, but I'll try my best. So we'll start just by sitting in this pose called Swastikasana, cross-leg pose. If you've got any yoga props, keep them nearby. If you don't have any props, things like a chair, cushions, any kind of belt will be helpful to you today. Okay, let's sit and we'll just bring the palms beside our hips and lift up through the sides of the body. Pin the shoulders back and feel the crown of the head ascending away from the tailbone, so there's a long line of extension from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Bring the palms together in front of the chest and just for a moment close the eyes. So rest your eyes from looking at the screen and draw your senses inwards. Take some soft inhalations, soft exhalations. And I'm just going to chant 3 Om sounds to signify the beginning of the practice. At the end of the practice there'll be a slightly longer chant, which is the teacher-student peace chant. So let's take a breath in. And then keeping that lift in the chest, bow the head towards the heart. And at this moment we surrender the head to the heart. We pay our respects to our teachers, to our lineage. Or you could use it as a moment of quiet reflection for anyone that's in your heart that you're thinking about. Or just to salute the light within. And then release the hands and raise the head, open your eyes. Okay, so I hope you can hear me okay. I've got my microphone just in front of me charging up. So turn up your volume if you need to. So we're going to start by standing up. It's a lovely spring day today. So thank you for joining me live. And if you're watching the recording, well done. So we're going to bring the legs together and join all the edges of the feet if you can. Otherwise, just bring the legs together. Sometimes the knee joints get in the way, but squeeze those legs together. Stretch the arms down in Tadasana, mountain pose. And then we're going to take the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. So you stretch the arms up as high as you can and keep the palms facing each other. Lift the fingertips as if you're going to touch the ceiling and try and get the arm, and go back a bit, you can see fingertips are stretching up. And try and get that feeling that the arms aren't the only thing that's lifting. The sides of the waist, back of the body, whole length of your spine is lifting up. Press the tops of your thighs back. And then on an exhalation, bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders back as if you're trying to slide the shoulder blades down into the body. And now take the arms forwards again, but this time interlock the fingers, thumbs touching as well. Turn your palms away. As you draw the arms up, draw the navel slightly back so that you don't throw the waist forwards. So you keep the thighs pressing back, tailbone pressing forwards, and lift the sides of the body up. So feel that the arms are helping you to create length and space in the trunk. And then bring the arms down. And we change the interlock, so we move the fingers over one. If you get confused, just do exactly the same thing again. Turn the palms away, thumbs touching, bring the arms up. press the palms up towards the ceiling. If you've got a low ceiling and you can actually put your palms on it, then press the hands. That helps to give good resistance for the arm bones to move into the shoulder sockets. Squeeze the legs together. Pubic bone lifting, tailbone moving down and forwards. Move the arms back, armpits forwards. And then bring the arms all the way down and release and stretch the arms down. Now we'll do that same movement but with the hands behind the back, so it's called Paschima, so the back of the body. So if you interlock your fingers now and stretch the arms down, and then see how far can you move the arms back without tipping forwards or backwards. So move the arms back as much as you can, lift up through the sides of the body. Crown of the head ascending. And watch that you're not pushing the head forward, so try and keep the back of the head in line with the tailbone. And then again, release the arms. See if you can change the interlock. So for those that are not familiar, the camera might go a bit funny. So we've got this interlock, and all you do is move the fingers over one, so you've got the other first finger on top. Okay? I think it's probably one of the few disciplines that does that, but it really works the shoulder muscles differently, and the wrists, of course, and it's good for your body coordination, brain-body coordination as well. So try and stretch the arms back without tipping forwards or backwards. So you've got to keep those legs nice and strong, and lift up the chest. Let the head come slightly back so that you're not pushing the neck forwards. And then release the arms down, stretch to your fingertips. And now one more arm movement we're going to do is called Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So the left arm will come behind the back, and you can use the other hand to help you guide it up. Palm is open, fingers stretching up. Then stretch the right arm up and see if you can drop the hand back and catch. And if you don't manage to catch, you can use a belt. Okay? Whoops! But don't ruin your light fitting. Use a belt. Otherwise, see if you can catch. And when you've got your grip of the belt or your hand, just lift that right elbow up more and move the left shoulder back. Right elbow up, left shoulder back. Try not to let your head drift from side to side. Keep it level. And feel as if you're rolling that left shoulder back, broadening across the collarbones, and that the left hand's pressing into the back. So you keep the back of the wrist pressing into the back. Don't twist your hand, so the fingers are connected towards each other. Okay, and then we'll release that arm down. Again, just roll the shoulders back to discharge any tension. And we'll do the other side. Now, I find the right arm is a bit stiffer. There's a shortening here, for me, definitely. And I think it's common for, majority of people. Some people find it the other side. So I'm just giving that a bit more movement as I roll it back. And then I use my other hand to guide that into place. All right, you might find that this hand comes really much less up the back than the left hand. And then just really stretch your left arm up. Get as much length as you can, and then see if you can catch. If you don't catch, doesn't matter, you use a belt or just try the best you can. Roll that right shoulder back, lift the top elbow up. Just trying to stretch the elbows away from each other and keep the head in the centre. So don't drop the head forwards, and definitely don't let the elbow come out. You can actually, people with shoulders that dislocate easily, you've got to be careful to keep the alignment of the arm bone straight up and down. So don't move it out to the side. And then release the arms, so you stretch the arms up and down. Bring that other arm down and roll the shoulders back once more. Okay, and stretch the arms down. Okay, so we're going to come to a wall. Now, I know it sounds funny, but some people have limited wall space. Okay, so when I say if you don't have a wall, I don't mean are you living in a tent. I mean, you might not have the wall space in your place. So you can use a chair for this as well, or as an alternative. So you're either going to put your hands on top of a chair or a table for half Uttanasana, or you can use the wall like this. You step up to the wall, put the hands in line with the chest, and then step back, half Uttanasana. Okay, so the feet are parallel to each other,
And in fact, if you've got hamstring issues, you can turn the toes slightly in. Lower back problems, turn the toes slightly in. Have the feet about hip width. And then push the wall with the hands. Try not to let the hands slide down. So keep the fingers pointing up. Spread from the little finger to the thumb. And then keep the ears in line with the upper arms. Press the tops of the thighs back. Draw the navel towards the spine. And feel as if your outer hips, this is the outer hip here, side of the buttock, is moving back, both outer hips are moving back as the trunk is extending forwards. And then walk forwards and come up and stand up. Come back to the centre of your mat. Okay, and then that's half Uttanasana, half forward bend. So full forward bend is to come down towards the floor. So if you've got a lower back issue and you want to stick to half, then just stick to half. If you can come forwards from your pelvis and take the hands down onto the floor, or you can hold the backs of your legs. Okay? Alternatively, today you can fold the elbows. I'm going to choose the elbow folding and then let the head drop. Keep the kneecaps lifting. Feel that the backs of the thighs are broadening, calf muscle lengthening down towards the heels. So some of you know we talked about that in class this week, about the action of the calf muscle. And try to get the sides of the trunk to go down towards the floor. Don't forget to breathe, don't hold your breath. And then you can release the arms, lift the head, look forwards and stand up and come up and stretch the arms down. Okay, so anytime you do a forward bend like that and you've got a lower back problem or hamstring, then the half forward bend is a really good alternative because you're getting all the actions but it's not so intense on that lower back region. Okay, so yes, second one we're going to do, you can use a belt for this to catch the feet, or you can keep the legs bent. I'll show you two versions. So this is Padangusthasana. The word refers to the grip that we have around the big toe. So use the first two fingers to grab your big toe on each foot. Okay, so we'll come down as you just did. If you need to, you can bend the knees so that you can catch around the big toes. First two fingers, thumb on top of the toenail. And then see if you can go towards straightening your legs. And if you can't straighten your legs, just stay like that. Or use a belt around your feet and then straighten the legs. So that's your two alternatives. And the rest of you, if you can catch the feet, go ahead now. Look forwards first. Concave action in the upper back. Arms straight, palms facing inwards. Still trying to create length between, or space between the outer hip and the shoulder. And then if you can go further in the pose, bend the elbows and take the head down. Take the trunk down. Take a few breaths here. Try not to let the weight go all the way back into the heels. I can feel myself sinking back too. So make sure that the weight is distributed between the heels and the toes on each foot. And keep those kneecaps lifting up, thighs pressing back. Okay, so we're going to straighten the arms and look forwards, and then hands on the hips and come up and stand up. All right, let's bring the feet back together. Standing Tadasana. And now a pose, just be careful those of you with knee problems with this pose. You might want to go a little bit easy with this, and just maybe if your knees are particularly bad, you can focus just on the stretch of the arms. So it's called Utkatasana. If I show first without the arms, you basically bend the knees and you're trying to make a zigzag shape between the trunk, thighs, shins, feet. So can you see these sort of zigzags? And then the arms come up, okay? So if that's difficult for you, if you're here and you're really struggling, you can keep the hands on the hips, okay? If you're just feeling a bit tired, then try stretching the arms up because it might energize you, all right? But if you've got a serious shoulder problem, then of course keep the arms down. All right, so we'll start with the arms up for those that can manage. Otherwise, start with the hands on your hips. Bend the knees. So you're trying to sit back on an imaginary chair, okay? So imagine you're trying to sit down on that chair. Try and keep a zigzag shape And look down and see that your knees are not going off to the left or the right, that they're straight over the feet. Inhale, come up. So we don't hold this for a super long time. I forgot to say, any heart problems, keep the arms down. Don't lift the arms up. And if the breathing gets raggedy, stop the pose, come out. Inhale, raise the arms up again. Exhale, come down. So calf muscles here, really push them down towards the heels. Squeeze your legs together. Lift the arms up as much as you can. And then inhale, come up and bring the arms down. And then roll the shoulders back, release any tension. Okay, still with me so far? Yes? Alright, so I think what we'll do now, just looking at my little plan, we'll come to some standing poses, and the first two are lateral standing poses. You don't need any props for these at all. We're going to start with Trikonasana triangle pose. So we'll be in the middle of our mats now, and you've got a choice of either jumping or stepping the feet apart. So if you've got knee problems, back problems, new to this work, then maybe step the feet apart. So bring the arms to the centre chest, bend the knees and either jump or step the legs wide. Keep the arms extended, and then we'll turn the feet to your right. So left foot in, right leg out. Hopefully I'm mirroring you, but I'm trying to give you the chance to mirror me. So left foot is slightly in, right leg is out. Extend to the right, bring the right hand down and grab the ankle or the shin, wherever you can. Again, if your top arm is very stiff, you can bring the arm parallel to the body and work on rolling that left shoulder back. Otherwise, see if you can bring the top arm up, lengthen the sides of your body, and then if you've got the space in the neck, turn the head to look up at the thumb. Otherwise, keep the head looking forwards. High blood pressure people, look down at the foot. Lots of different ways that we work for all kinds of conditions. That's the beauty of Iyengar yoga. And don't forget to breathe. So really stretch into the back leg. Stretch into the little toe of the back foot. Extend the arms away from each other and then come up and turn the feet to the left. So right foot comes slightly in. The whole of the left leg and foot turn out. See that the left heel is in line with the right arch. Lift the sides of the body. Exhale, come to the left. Try and keep that space, keep that space. Right arm comes up if possible, if possible. If it's way forwards, then you've got to work on the rotation of that shoulder first, so better to keep the arm parallel to the floor or even hand on the hip and roll that side of the chest back before attempting to take the arm up. Keep the left buttock pressing forwards towards the front, top of the right thigh pressing back, and if you can, turn and look up at your thumb. Take a few breaths. Normally, by the way, I don't talk as much as this in our weekly guided practice. It's supposed to be guided practice, but this is more of a tutorial. Okay, so we'll come up, turn the feet, and then see if you can jump the legs back together into Tadasana. Stretch the arms down, roll the shoulders back. And then we're going to go for a pose called Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior Pose 2. So same starting position, same turn of the legs. Bring the arms to the centre chest, jump or step the legs wide. And then we'll turn the feet again to the right, so your right, left foot in slightly, whole of the right leg out. So trying to keep the pelvis facing forwards, but the trunk definitely facing forwards. And now we're going to bend that right leg. So shin bone straight up and down. Bend the right leg, extend the arms, look along your right arm. Reach back into the left fingertips so you're not leaning forwards over that right leg. See if you can descend that right buttock a little bit more and look along your right arm. So you're lifting the chest, you've got that warrior energy in your chest. And then to come out, stretch the left arm, inhale, straighten the leg, turn the feet, and we'll go straight to the other side. So right toe slightly in, left leg turning. Stretch the arms away from each other, particularly the right arm as you bend the left leg. So don't allow that left arm to come over. Keep the trunk in the middle, spine lifting. Bend the leg as much as you can, but keep the back of the, the front of the right leg pressing back of the right leg broad, and look along your left arm when you're ready. And now to come out, stretch the right arm back, straighten the left leg, turn the feet, jump, and bring the legs together and stretch the arms down. So you could at this point do a half forward bend, either with the wall or your chair, or you could do Uttanasana with the elbows folded. Come down. This gives you a chance to catch your breath, but also to stretch the legs, continue to stretch the legs in between the standing poses. And then release the arms and come up and stand up. Alright, so we now got some turning poses to do. So we've done lateral standing poses. We're going to turn the body now over the front leg. So the first one you're going to do, if you need to use a chair, absolutely fine. Because some people, when they turn, so for example, I'll turn to this side first to show. So we're going to turn all the way around, like so. We're going to take the arms up and go forward. So some of you will have bricks and blocks, and if you don't have any of that, because you don't have any yoga equipment and you can't get your hands to the floor, what you do instead is you put a chair there, and then you take the arms up and you have your hands on the chair, like that. And then you've got stability, okay, so you're not going to fall over, and also you've got a way to put weight back into that back leg, and you'll prevent yourself from sort of doing this, kind of crunching over your leg. So better to have a height so that you can really extend the trunk and keep the legs straight. Otherwise, use bricks if you have some bricks. So if you're using bricks or blocks, put them on the right hand side of your mat. And obviously, when you've got equipment like that, be careful when you jump, or don't jump. Just step the feet so that you know you're not going to jump on your bricks or your blocks. We'll stretch the arms down. If you've got room, take them out to the side, because we're going to turn now. So left foot deep in, right leg and pelvis turning to the right, and your arms are stretching across. Now sweep them forwards and up. Inhale, and as you exhale, come forwards and reach down to either your blocks, high blocks, low blocks, or the floor. And it really doesn't matter. Don't think, oh, I've got to get to the floor. No, what you've got is straight legs, extended body, and hopefully the weight goes back into that back leg heel. That has to press down. And then you can bend the elbows if you can go further, and bring your body closer towards the forward leg, the right leg. But don't worry about this last bit if you're still working on learning how to straighten your legs or doing the pose for the first time. It's called Parsvottanasana, sideways intense extension. And then we'll come up and then turn the feet back to the centre. And obviously you need to bring your bricks to the other side. I'm just going to turn round actually, then I don't have to move my bricks. So arms out to the side, turn the feet so that right foot deep in, turn the left leg out, and then sweep the arms forwards and up. Inhale, as you exhale, come forwards. Reach forwards before you bring the hands down. Don't just put the head down. Look at the direction you're going in. Look at the wall in front of you or the chair in front of you. And then if you can go deeper, bend the elbows and bring the hands flat onto your bricks, onto the floor, or stretch your arms further on your chair. And release your body down over your straight leg. Front leg, sorry. Both legs should be straight actually. Keep the outer right hip rolling back and in, and try and feel the back leg calf muscle pushing down towards the heel. And then we'll look forward, see if you can come up without wobbling. And then turn the feet and bring your legs back together. Okay, just stand in Tadasana now. Arms extending down, shoulders rolling back. We've got 2 more standing poses to do. The next one again doesn't need any props. You can move your blocks off your mat, move your chair away. And we've got another turning pose called Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So much like the first 2 we did, one was a straight leg pose, the second one was a bent leg pose. This is now a bent leg pose, but a turning bent leg pose. So you can just follow with me. Bring the arms to the centre chest. Now you can either jump or step the legs wide, because you haven't got any props to trip you up. And we'll sweep those arms forwards and up. So Urdhva Hastasana, arms facing up. Turn the feet and legs to the right. Trunk to the right. Okay, so you're turning all the way around. And now we're going to keep the left leg straight. So I'm adjusting my stride, it's a bit short. Keep the left leg straight and then bend the right leg. Bend the right leg towards the right angle. Warrior pose 1. Stretch the arms up. Now you don't have to lift the head up, and in fact you shouldn't really lift the head until you've got a bit more opening in your chest. So if you're very rounded in your back, don't try and throw your head up, just look straight forward. But if you've got that movement in your upper back, and you feel freedom in the neck, you can lift the head and look up. And breathe. And then on your next breath in, press into the back heel, and then as you exhale, come up, straighten that right leg, turn to the front. See if you can keep the arms up in the middle. There's a challenge. Keep the arms lifting up, and then turn the right foot deep in, left leg out. Roll the outside of your body around towards the left. Inhale, as you exhale, bend the left leg. So we're trying to keep that back leg strong and straight, and the front leg shin to a vertical degree. Trying to move my thigh a bit further down so that I get a right angle in that leg. And then if you can, look up between the hands. Inhale, straighten the right leg, left leg, sorry, come up to centre, turn the feet, jump, and then finally bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders back, stretch to the fingertips. Okay, so the final standing pose we're going to do, Prasarita Padottanasana. I think I'll show this from the side so you can see where my head is. So you can do this with a chair. You can put your head on the chair, you can put your arms forwards on the chair. But basically, your heels are on the back edge of the mat, you turn the toes slightly in, you bring the hands onto the front edge of the mat. And then the idea is that you bring the hands back and the head down to the floor. So if you don't manage to get your head to the floor, see if you can put it on a couple of cushions, on a brick, on a blanket, or even on the chair. So get yourself into your pose. Make sure your toes are turned slightly in, so the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Try not to lean back in your hips, so keep the legs going straight up and down so the weight is even from the toes to the heels. Elbows slightly in, shoulder blades lifting, palms spreading, fingers spreading. Crown of the head down on a support. This quietens the brain. That's why we kind of insist that the head should be supported. Don't worry if you haven't got enough kit though. But think about making that for next time. Finding something for next time. Or use a chair. Or even a footstool or a dog. They can be quite useful sometimes, pets. When they're not getting in the way of your practice and showing you how good they are at yoga. Okay, so we're going to come up and walk the hands forwards, bring the feet slightly in, and then come up and stand up and bring the feet together. Alright, so let's lie down on our backs just for a moment to release the legs after all that standing. So you just bring the knees to the chest, and if you've got knee pain, you hold around the backs of the knees, so there's a nice gap there between the calf and the thigh. Keep the space behind the back of the knee. And just let the legs come onto the belly. Yes, sorry, the camera's going a bit haywire. It's trying to find my face. And then you can roll to your side and come up. And I'm going to give you a choice now, because some of you I know are very, very experienced at Shirshasana, head balance. So you can do your head balance. Please don't do this if you're new to yoga or not experienced at head balance. Those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, you're just going to do an alternative pose, and I'm going to show you what that is. So you'll take your mat to a wall, if possible, and you're simply going to lie down and bring your legs up the wall like this. Okay, so the whole of the back of the leg is on the wall, and then you're going to extend the arms over. Alright, so that's your alternative, and then the rest of you that normally do head balance, you're going to do head balance, headstand, and those of you in this position, you can alternate between the arms being over and the arms being out to the sides, and you can also take the legs a little wider, like this, okay, for a few minutes, and legs together. When I say a few minutes, we're only going to be up in head balance for about 3 minutes. So this is when I have to get my timer, and otherwise I might be in it a bit longer than I should be. And I'll let you know when I've switched it on. So, as I say, don't copy me if you don't know what you're doing with head balance. But if you do know what you're doing, then you can go ahead and go up. And I'm just getting my support ready. Okay, so the timer is on. Excuse my back view. So, those of you lying on the floor, make sure your legs are very well pressed into the wall and that you stretch your heels up. And it's the same for those of us in head balance. We have to push the heel bones up and get the backs of the legs to really extend. And if you've got your arms over your head and you're lying down, make sure that you can extend your arms well. You can also always hold a belt. And if your arms don't straighten, then it's best to have your arms out to the sides. Otherwise, you're not really getting any proper action in the shoulders because the arms aren't supported. And squeeze your legs together, everybody. Those of you in head balance, lift your shoulders away from the floor and project the shoulder blades forwards. And then those at the wall and those in the air, if you want to try, you can bring your legs out wide. And those in the air, you can turn the heels, turn the toes slightly out. Don't do this if you're not stable. If you need to go to the wall, go to the wall. And then bring the legs back up and bring the feet together. When you're in head balance, in fact, when you're in most of the poses, the eyes should be at eye level. So make sure you're not looking this way and that, although you might be looking at the screen, of course, but try not to let that distract you from your own practice, from your own posture work now. And those of you lying on the floor, keep the eyes open. Don't close the eyes. It's not Shavasana. You're still working. You're still stretching your legs. You're with us in spirit upside down. It's just your legs that are upside down. So you're still working the legs and stretching the arms, keeping the body active, mind alert, but sort of quietly alert. So the eyes are soft but open. Now if you get tired in Shirshasana, there you go, there's the bell. I was going to say you can come down. But when you come down, either 2 legs straight, 1 leg straight, but try to keep the shoulders lifting all the way as you come down. And then you can turn and go forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. So those of you on the floor, you can join us as well. Just sit back on your heels, turn over, sit back on your heels and stretch forwards. And then come up and sit up. Okay, so I'd like you to sit. What am I going to do now? Yes, I'd like you to, actually tell you what we're going to do. If you have a belt, take a belt now. If you don't have a belt, a towel or a blanket, anything where you can catch your feet. And you're going to lie down and place the belt over your feet and stretch your legs up like that. Okay, so you're looking up at your toes, legs are vertical. Try not to bring them too close. Keep the legs vertical and the sacrum pressing down into the floor. And push your heels up and spread your toes. Keep your shoulders down, chest open, and just be there. Now, those of you that can manage that, but not take the hands away. So if you've got lower back problems, if you're menstruating, if your legs don't straighten very well and you're over here somewhere, then just keep hold of the belt, but don't move the legs up and down when we do the next bit. You just stay here. And you can even practice just bending the knees and then straightening them again, like that, okay? The rest of you, if you can manage to take the arms over, you see this is like the one you did at the wall there, but it's without the wall now, all right? And you can also practice bending the knees and stretching the legs up again. Sorry about my camera. You're bending the knees and stretching the legs up again, okay? And then the final movement, we're going to see if we can bring the legs all the way down. I think I'm too close, yes. You're going to see if you can bring the legs all the way down, touch and come up, okay? And you're going to do that 7 times, 7 times. Let me see if I can change position and then my camera won't think I've gone off somewhere. It's a digital SLR, which is great for the signal because the signal doesn't go, but it keeps looking for my face. Okay, so you've got choices. You're going to hold the belt and stay with the belt. You're going to let go of the belt, arms over the head, and just be there. And then the final stage, if you can manage, is 7 repetitions. So we exhale, we come down, touch, inhale, come up. And try to use deep exhalation, deep inhalation. I've lost count already, I think that was 3, 4, 5. Try and keep the arms extended, sides of the waist down, don't lift the lumbar. 7, I think that is, but I'll do 1 more for luck in case I've missed one out. So push the heels away, push the heels away, push the calves into the heels, and then last one, and hug your knees onto your chest. Soft inhalation, soft exhalation. And now roll to your side and come up from the side. Okay, so again, we can take the belt and a very similar action. So we're going to put the belt around the feet in a moment, but first I want to draw the legs towards me. so that my knees are close to my chest. My hands are about in line with the centre of my calf. I'm going to lift my legs up, trying not to lean back. Shin bones parallel to the floor, and then straighten the legs. So it's like boat pose, but we're using the rope or the belt to help us stabilise. Okay, so that's easy enough. Although, do be careful with this one if you're near a wall and the wall's behind you, because if you rock back, you can knock your head on the wall, so be careful with that. So you can try that a couple of times. So you bring the legs down, draw the legs in, lift the shins, straighten the legs, lift the chest, and then see if you can let go. Push the heels, squeeze the legs, stretch the arms, and then come down. And we're not going to do that one 7 times, we'll just do that once more. So this time, if you can, without the belt, just draw the legs in, lift the legs up, and stretch the arms, stretch the legs. Parapurna Navasana. Okay, and then bring the legs down, sit nice and tall, and stretch your legs away. Good. All right, let me just move my mat back over. And we'll sit in Dandasana once more, but this time we're going to take the legs wide for Upavishta Konasana. So legs nice and wide, and try to keep your heels on a mat so that your heels don't slide around. You can have your hands behind you. Stretch those heels away. Lift up through the sides of the body. Okay, now we're going to turn towards the right. So if you bring your left hand forwards, right arm behind you, and just turn towards that right leg. Try and keep the back of the left thigh moving to the floor and extend that leg away. And you're just looking over the foot. Don't sort of turn the head over towards the right shoulder. Just look over the foot and see if you can get that length in the front body. And then come back to the centre, do the same on the other side. Turn towards the left. And then sort of iron flat the right leg into the floor. Turn towards the left leg. Spine lifting up. And then come back to the centre. And just go forward. So take the arms up, see where you can come forwards to. It doesn't matter if you only go a little bit, like a couple of inches, but see how far you can move forwards. Take the hands down, walk the hands as far forwards as you can, and then let the head just release down. And press your thighs down, extend the calves into the heels, move the heels away. And then come up. Okay, now once more we're going to turn, and this time we're going to add the movement forwards. So we'll extend the arms up, turn towards the right, go forwards as if you're going to catch your foot. All right, it doesn't matter if you don't catch the foot, you can use a belt or just put your hands on the floor like this. All right, so don't think, oh, I've got to catch my foot, because so many people do this and then they kind of, struggle and they close the chest and they shorten the spine. So you want to create length as you go forwards. Okay, and then you can let your head come down towards the shin, or you might just be here with the head just relaxed, the neck just relaxed like that. Okay, so wherever you can, go forwards, catch the foot or not, and release the head down. And then come up and turn the other way. So we take the arms up, turn towards the left, and then go forwards as much as you can. Again, either hands on the floor, catch the foot, or stay upright, especially if you've got a lower back problem. Don't push into that area too much. And then if you can go further by widening the elbows and bringing the head down towards the shin. And then you can push yourself back up and come back to the center. And now grab your knees from underneath and just bring them in like this so that you soften the legs to bring them back to what we started in right at the beginning with Swastikasana, this cross-leg pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to lie back in this pose. So you might want a blanket for your head. You can do this with a bolster, those of you that know how. Those of you that don't have the equipment, just have something like a blanket for the head or a cushion and sit towards the end of your mat and cross your legs. Now, if you've got any problems with crossing the legs, you can just do this with your soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. And we're going to roll down. So the spine is on the floor and the blanket is for the head only, not under the shoulders. This is not Shavasana yet. Okay, we're coming to relaxation. But what I want you to do is to really press the thighs down. If you can hold the feet, then you can hold the feet. Those of you that are more advanced, if you can do Padmasana or half Padmasana, you can be in Matsyasana. Okay, so you can go to the more intermediate level pose. And those of you that are happy with this cross leg, just keep the cross leg. We're going to extend the arms over and fold the elbows. So it's still quite active in the chest. Don't drape your arms, okay? Really extend them and fold them so you're holding the elbows and press the upper arms down. So it's quite opening in the chest and the groins at the same time. And because we're lying down, we can close the eyes here. So just relax your breath, relax your tummy, relax your jaw, but keep quite a good grip of the elbows, actively pressing the arms down, good grip in the shins and thighs, pressing the thighs down to open the groins. And then bring the arms back and bring the knees to the chest. We're going to change the cross of the legs. So cross the other shin over first, hold the feet, and then see if you can bring the feet under the buttocks, knees down towards the floor, thighs down towards the floor. Again, stretch the arms over. If you can remember, change the cross of the elbows as well. If you remember which one you held first, change that cross. Press the upper arms down, lengthen the crown of the head away from you and close the eyes. Relax the jawbone, relax the upper jaw, lower jaw away from the upper jaw. And just watch your breath, soften your breath and watch the rhythm of your inhalation, exhalation. And now bring the arms back. And if you bend your knees and put your feet on the floor, so you'll need to come off your bolster if you're on a bolster. And just take the blanket away for a moment. We're going to do a pose called Chatushpadasana. Now you can use a belt to catch your ankles, but you've got to watch that the feet don't come together. Or you can just hold the sides of your mat. So I have to go underneath here. Hold the sides of your mat, or you can try and hold your ankles. Okay, like that. So if you've got long arms, you've got a good reach, you can catch your ankles. I'm going to put my hands on my mat underneath here. I'm going to hold the sides of my mat. And then you press down, tuck the shoulders under, lift your pelvis, lift your hips, go on up, pulling on the mat, pulling on the feet. Roll onto the tops of the shoulders. And then come down. And just do one more like that. Bring the feet as close towards your hands as you can. Again, either holding the mat or holding the ankles or the belt. And then inhale, lift. Outer hips lifting up, shoulders pressing down. And then come all the way down and release. All right, so we're going to get ready for Shavasana. I'm just going to put the timer on so that I don't forget as well. So it'll just be a short Shavasana, 3 minutes, but make sure that you're going to be warm enough. And if you want weights on your thighs, you could put a bolster over your thighs. Adjust your Shavasana like you would any other pose. So start in the center of your mat, place your hands down, roll your spine down carefully so you're in a straight line. Adjust the blanket so it supports just the head and the neck. And then tuck your shoulders under, move your buttock flesh away, stretch your legs out. And then release the arms. Palms facing the ceiling. Really roll the biceps away so the shoulder blades tuck down. And you keep that opening across the chest. Have the gaze looking towards the center. And then from there, close the eyes. And feel the whole of the back body surrendering into the floor. Give yourself just this 3 minutes. Don't rush to do something else. Do your Shavasana. Because even a short Shavasana will give you so much refreshment and restoration that it really is worth the time invested in you. And if your mind is whirring, well, it will do that. Of course it will do that. And this is only a short Shavasana, so you may not conquer the mind in that short time. But at least try and divert the mind to think about the breath, or even the way the body is feeling as it touches the floor. And then just use the breath to surrender completely, to let go completely and rest. And then keep the eyes closed, but bring your hands across your belly and bend your knees and roll to the side. And then just bring your palms together. When you sat up, just bring your palms together and keep the eyes closed. And I'm just going to chant the closing chant, the Shanti chant. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then bow the head down towards the heart. And then release the hands. So the chant at the end is about us practicing together, honouring each other, having no enmity for one another, so not being at war with each other. So it's a very relevant chant, and the last 3 syllables are Om, peace, peace, peace. So peace to us all, and thank you so much for joining me today. Have a happy Easter Sunday. This recording will be available forever on my YouTube channel, so do share it and encourage other people to join in. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye for now.